Hi folks, Aaron here, Aaron's Practical Reviews. Today's video is going to focus on the Canon Rebel EOS T7i, or if you're outside the United States, the 800D. It was released around February 2017. I purchased it shortly after its release and I've had it ever since. And here, let's start by taking a look at the body and some of the key features that it offers. So here's the body of the T7i. It's fairly small, fairly lightweight, especially with the kit lens that it comes with. It's got the flip out screen. Here are your basic buttons on the back. It does not have a custom spin dial. These are buttons here that you can use as directional buttons, or they have specific functions. Here's your live view mode button right there. If you come to the top, you'll see up here it does have one dial, and this dial here is basically the only dial it has on this body. To change your shutter speed and your aperture, you have to toggle with this button right here. Right here is your mode dial. This does not lock in place. However, if you look here, it does have a ton of different modes. This is one of the nice features of this camera, especially for a beginner. I believe it's got a total of 55 different modes if you combine all of the different options in each different mode. So here you see portrait, landscape, close-up, action, scene. It's got a lot of different features built into this thing, which we'll get into here in a few minutes. Okay, on the side, it has a single card slot. It does have a built-in flash. Here it does have a microphone port, and that is a remote port. That is not a headphone jack. Micro USB, HDMI out, couple strap holders. It's actually a fairly small battery, and I think it's estimated at around 660 shots. It has Wi-Fi and Bluetooth built in. Now, as far as the modes and the software in this camera, it really is designed to help the beginner out. It's got so many different features that you can enable in this camera. For instance, as you go through the different modes and the different settings here, you can it'll literally explain to you what the mode is on here if you were curious, and then if you hit OK, it will actually walk you through basically step by step in how to use it. And then once you get bored with this, and let's say you know this and you don't want to deal with it, or you're somebody who already knows how to use a camera fairly well, you can go into the menus and you can turn all of that off into just a complete standard shooting mode, which is what I prefer, kind of like this here, your basic Canon display, if it's something that you're used to and you don't want to go through the guided mode. So it just offers a lot of different options for a lot of different levels of skill levels for users. You'll see it's the max output, 1080p at 60 frames a second. I made a ton of videos showcasing the video quality of this. If you want to watch that, there's a bunch of them linked on my channel. Got the time-lapse option, which is really nice. The Movie Digital IS is some digital image stabilization. It helps a little bit as far as stabilizing your footage, but it adds a little bit of a crop, and those are some of the main features on the video. And of course it has the dual pixel autofocus. Okay, so I have officially switched over and I am now filming with the T7i. I started this video with the 90D and I tried to match up the colors and everything the best I could. The settings are slightly different on here. I think I'm coming off as a little bit red. I'm filming with it right now, so it'll give you a good idea of its value today. If this is good video right here, I have it on manual mode. I'm using the Sigma 18 to 35 millimeter, one of my favorite lenses on a crop sensor camera. And yeah, I just want to show if this is good footage at 1080p, then that helps answer one of your questions if it's decent in 2021. One of the main things about this camera that I tried to showcase there is it's how it's so designed for beginners to learn with. And one thing about a lot of the cameras that I picked up, let's say for example the Panasonic G7, when I very first experience with a camera was with that one. I hadn't used cameras before 2017. I hadn't been a photographer. I'd never made videos for YouTube. I was completely new to all of this. The menu system and the amount of options in that camera were overwhelming to me. I tried it. I'm sure it's got a million great features. I didn't understand what they were. And as a beginner, that was a price point that I could afford. I think it was coming in around $500, $600. Not too much off from what this was in 2017. So that was overwhelming to me. This camera, part of the appeal to it for most people is going to be the fact that it has that option to walk you through what everything does. And it's very easy to use. It's very comfortable to use. It's something that you can pick up and start shooting with. And, oh, I don't know what this is. Oh, well, there it is right there on the menu. And then on top of that, it still has good quality for your photos and for your video. At 1080p, yeah, granted, it's not 4K. In 2021, you would prefer that. But if you can find this, I think it still holds its value today, especially if you can get it used for, say, under $500. Probably now it might be under $400. You know, pretty soon I'm guessing you're going to start seeing it on deals for probably around $500 new. Maybe that might be pushing it. But my point is, I think in 2021, this camera still has enough power behind it. It can still produce enough really high quality images. The sensor's strong enough. I think the video quality is good enough. There's enough quality lenses on the market to sustain this camera for a while. And I think we're 4 years in, and I think it's still in 2021 an excellent option, especially for beginners. It's even good for probably experienced photographers who have a lot of EFS lenses around. If they can get it for a good price, this is a great backup camera. It's an excellent all-around camera for traveling, for vlogging, for pretty much anything. If you're okay with 1080p for filming. Again, if 4K is a huge factor for you, this camera is probably not for you. But if you like a good all-around solid camera it's got a ton of cool little features to play with in the different creative modes, the filters. It's got the dual pixel autofocus. It's got the flip screen for vlogging. It really does have a lot of options at a really reasonable price. So that's it, guys. Definitely, I think it's still a good camera in 2021. A great learning camera still, absolutely. And if you can get it for a really good price, I think you'll really enjoy it even now, as much as I enjoyed it 4 years ago. So that's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, feel free to ask below. I'll link this in the description below. And that's it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.